All right, we are live. Today, we are going to do some storefront stalking on how to do online arbitrage and actually find items profitably. Raspy, good to see you. Check. Christiana, good to see you. Yeah, today we're just going to do a ton of sourcing, a ton of live sourcing. So, looking forward to it. And also, just for those who are coming in later, I will get to your comments. Sometimes I might be on a different screen, and so I might not see the comment for a few seconds, but definitely will respond to those. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with this one profitable item that you can do eBay to Amazon. This is the TI, the Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. I have found this item profitably on eBay to sell on Amazon. And so what we're going to do to find more items that we can sell eBay to Amazon is we are going to storefront stock the people who we think there's a high chance that they're also doing eBay to Amazon. So what we're going to do is we're going to find ASINs like this, and we're going to put them into a document like this. That way we can actually keep track of the things that we're taking a look for. And we could come back later and look for these items, or we can also keep track of our ideas in this document here. So I'm going to start by looking and seeing who is actually selling this used. So we have a couple people who are selling this used. We have this guy, Plus Digs USA. We have this guy, Marco Games. Unfortunately, his feedback really is not the best. 41%. That just is much worse than usual. We have this guy, KC Ecom. We have this guy, CC's Classical Classics. And we have this guy, InfoWeb LLC. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check and see who is actually selling this product new, because if they're selling this product new, maybe they're just selling their returns. So remembering those people. So let's take a look at who's selling this new. So this guy is selling it new, so we probably don't want to storefront stock him. And besides that, it looks like there's a good chance that the rest of the people are also not selling it new. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and take a look at the comments. We got Bruh in the chat. How did you go about finding the calculator? So for me, I've been doing eBay to Amazon for over a year at this point. And every time I sell an item, every time I have an idea, every time I am sourcing, I'm always putting my ideas into my own replenishable sheet. And so this idea came from another idea, which came from another idea, which came from another idea. It wasn't just a one suddenly had this idea and then it was there. It came from the very beginning of eBay to Amazon, which was me doing a closeout for an office, and I sold some of their items online and decided to restock them on eBay. So that's where the first of the ideas came from. We got Josiah in the chat, and if you happen to be free, I'd love it if you join me, but no pressure either. But good to see you, Josiah. We're just doing some live sourcing. So let's share the screen again. It's a good question, bro. That's why I always say it's super, super important to be putting all of your ideas in here, because when we have a blank sheet like this, we're kind of at a disadvantage. But even when we just say Texas Instruments, calculators, and just write down all of our ideas here, we have all of these different rabbit trails that we can go on and actually see if things are profitable. We can storefront stock all the people on this listing. We can storefront stock people on other listings like this. And so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a look at someone's store who is selling this used. So in my brain, it's between this guy, Marco's Games, and KC Ecom. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this guy's store because he just has one that feels more like he just got it as a one-off, and that's kind of how eBay to Amazon goes. And so if we're looking for used items, I probably wouldn't look at his storefront through SellerAmp because SellerAmp just works better with new items when it comes to the storefront stocking. It's a great tool for used items as well. Like I have it right here. I use it, but just for that feature, it's not as good. So we're going to click in here. Josiah's doing some quick sourcing at the moment. Exactly. Gotta spend that capital. Yeah, so we're right here. So something like this, I just know from personal experience, this is probably too cheap. Because like right now, it's literally $15, and I think he even has it priced higher. Yeah, like it's $12. That's just way too cheap to do eBay to Amazon with. So we're gonna pass on that one. Gonna try this one. He has this at $20 plus $3 shipping. So what I'm doing is I need to actually look at the listing as it actually is, not with this Marco guy in the buy box, because this Marco guy is listing everything way too high. It's above market right now. Like the new ones right now are going for $15.51, and he's listing them for $24. So we want to find something that's probably going to be at least $25. So this, oh yeah, so we have the Keepa in the bottom right. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we see that the new price of this is $25 and Amazon's on the listing. So a used one is going to be cheaper. So we're going to pass on that. I'm going to take a look at this one. This one is also cheap. We're going to pass. This Turtle Beach gaming headset. So it looks like it sells very quickly. It looks like the price is anywhere between $10 and $50. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. So he has it listed at $35. The new price is $45. The used price is, wow. What is this guy doing? One feedback, 1 star. So I've done this before where someone is listing something way too low on a very fast moving listing, and they ended up just not shipping the item, and I had to open up an A to Z claim in order to get my money back. Otherwise, I mean, $11 to sell this for probably in the ballpark of $35 is actually a great deal. It's just he probably won't ship. I'm curious about his feedback if he had that happen. Scam seller. My order was delivered after weeks of wait and to a completely different address. So this is a bad sign. Probably don't want to buy from a seller like that. But I mean, the market right now seems to be around $35. It does concern me that this used price has gone down like this. I'm kind of curious if it's just that scam seller. But if we take a look at Prime, even our Marco guy isn't even Prime. So if we want to sell this, I mean, there's really no offers besides Amazon's offers right now. So I mean, 35 is probably pretty reasonable for this. So our max cost for this would have to be $15. I mean, our buy box is $40 by Amazon Warehouse. So we could undercut them by a couple bucks. Yeah, so If we want 40% ROI, we need to get this for 16. So let's go ahead and see if eBay has any of these. So I'm going to search by UPC. I'm going to take a look at used. I'm going to filter by lowest first. So we actually are pretty close here. So this one's 19. Ideally, if you're searching for something that is this cheap, you're going to want to be able to find something you can get more than one of, because it's just not really worth our time. But if you really want to, you could send this guy a $15, $16 offer and he'd probably accept, and that would be $6. We can also see if this is available new. So the new price and the prime, everybody is way over Amazon's price. I'm assuming it must have been a higher price in the past. Yeah, so they're waiting for Amazon to come up to that price and then they're undercutting them. So I guess we could do the same too and say 55. 27 is what we need. Let's source this new. And so our cheapest right now is too expensive, but I'm curious about the solds. This guy is under 29 or 27. Same with this guy. This guy's 27. And I'm curious about the used as well. There's actually more new available. So this is something that we could be on the lookout for in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, ace in here. And so I would have a section for the new, a section for the used, and it's all the same thing. That's all we need to do for now. So let's go on to the next one. So we got Sony here. Now that is pretty interesting that I need approval on this because I definitely can sell this brand. Oh, this is definitely private label. So this is how I know that this is private label. They're advertising a Sony wireless headphone, but they're also including their private label. See those Nego cords here? They're including that with these headphones, and therefore they are allowed to sell this. They're not doing a great job of policing their listing because a ton of people are still selling this, but this is much higher risk of getting an IP complaint. So we're going to pass on this one. So this one, we're also seeing that this is under $25. We're going to pass. PlayStation 5 Spider-Man. So this one is actually hitting our criteria. He's selling for around $40. And I'm not ungated in PlayStation, so we are going to pass on this. This leapfrog stuff. I've never really sold a leapfrog item like this, eBay to Amazon. It makes me think of Walmart. But we'll go ahead and take a look. I don't even know. Collectible. Oh, I think that you can't sell this used unless you're Amazon. So we'd want to source this new. So Amazon's super in stock on this. 39 bucks. We'd probably undercut Amazon. 16 bucks. Can we get this profitably on eBay? Definitely not. Definitely not. So I don't really think this is the type of thing that we're looking for here. That Keepa graph looks a little sketchy, but oh, and it's too cheap. Too cheap. Too cheap. This is too cheap too. This guy does like his calculators though. So we were right in Storefront stalking him in that we'll find more calculators, but he also really likes cheap calculators, which is a problem here. And again, this is a cheaper one. I'm going to take a look here. So we have the Texas Instruments 83 Plus. So this one is looking closer to our price. So we're going to take a look at this one. So this looks like this is going to be over our $25. It's a very good rank in office products. What's a competitive used price right now? So basically when trying to figure out the competitive used price, I click used, I click prime, and it looks like our competitive used price right now is around 40 bucks, even though there's lower merch fulfilled items right now. So the very lowest right now is around $30. And with prime, it's going to be a little bit more. And it's usually around that price. So I would be pretty certain that we could sell this for $40. Which means if we need 40%, we need to get this for 20 bucks. And take a look at this, guys. Over the last year, can anybody see anything pretty interesting about what is going on with the sales rank of this item over the last year? We're just going to uncheck everything. So if you don't know much about Keepa, the higher the sales rank, the slower the item is selling. And the lower the sales rank, the faster it's selling. And so there's certain parts of the year where this calculator is still fast, but much, much slower. And then there's also certain parts of the year that it's much, much faster. And so people who flip books probably are seeing the pattern here. They are seeing that there is a textbook season pattern here. But when we look at the price, I'm curious if there's price correlation here. We're going to uncheck some of these things to make it simpler. So in those times, the price doesn't go up very much, but it sells much, much faster. I mean, the price goes up a little bit. Over here it did, but not extreme like it does for textbooks. So we could bet that in January it'll be very quick, just like this again, but the price isn't necessarily going to go up. So that's just a bonus. Let's click this to make it more like normal again. So 20 bucks is what we need. We're going to eBay search this. We are going to look for the used first. We're going to filter by lowest first. We're going to filter by buy it now. And we're going to take a look here. So when doing this for a calculator like this, there's going to be a couple things that we're going to have to filter through. Number one, this isn't a calculator. This is a slip back cover. So this is a cover. And then we're also going to want to filter out all the ones that are just too damaged or don't work or are for parts. So this is a cover. This is damaged, screen defect, and it's not working. So we don't care. We don't want that. So this one is missing the cover. That's okay. And there's some issues with the pixels. So if it's super, super minor, we could sell it. This is basically borderline. The customer could still use this. It's just going to be a higher return rate. If it was just the little things at the bottom here, I would do it. But these lines are super annoying. I could see someone getting annoyed about that. So we're going to pass on that. But that's something that you could sell, used acceptable, and just deal with the high return rate. If you sell it for 40 bucks, purchased at 11 bucks, that's actually really good and really good ROI too. Just do know from my personal experience, it's just going to be much higher return rate and it's going to be a pain. So that's why I'm passing on it. So this is major screen defects. Like imagine having this calculator and getting this. No, thank you. Cover, manual, a lot of manuals for parts, damaged screen. We don't want something that's like that damaged. That screen is really damaged. This is pretty damaged too. I'm still going to pass on this. Tested, but read description. There's some glitches in the screen. What's the glitch? Oh yeah, there's glitches. Again, that's something that you could also sell. I just want my return rate to be good. So this is fully functional, but massive screen damage. But they could use it. This is kind of in the same boat. Kind of trying to find the ones that are the cheapest, but also don't have much screen damage. Parts only. Pixel issues. That's a pain. So this is something that we could probably sell as used acceptable. So if we purchase this, 15 bucks, $13 profit, 89% ROI, we are going to add that to the cart. Oh, whoops. I'm going to see about this as well. So this is pretty decent as well, except I don't like all this stuff on the keyboard. That's a return waiting to happen. You can tell I have anxiety and trauma around returns. I'm trying to be a person who thinks about returns a little bit more. All right, so this is kind of the same situation as the one we purchased before, except for what the heck is this? So we're going to pass. Tiny screen defect. Let's see. That is pretty tiny, but it's annoying. Pass. Again, that's borderline. All of this is really subjective. For parts, still works. Mark on screen. Needs repairs. Needs repairs. Oh, I'm like, where did this price jump come from? All right, so what's with this? TI 73. So this is another way that you can source. When you're sourcing and you see different model numbers of the same brand that you're looking at, you can go ahead and see if there's an ASIN for the TI 73, because like I've legit never heard of the Texas Instruments TI 73. My guess is that it's a high ranked calculator that not a ton of people sell, but also there might be some good opportunity there. Whoa, it's purple. This is the Explorer. This is not the Explorer. So when you're sourcing and you come across a new ASIN that seems interesting to you, just go ahead and cut and paste it, put it in your sheet, and you can do research on it later. And kind of like I've talked about before, use this suggested area to actually give you more ideas, because we're on a new page here and we can go the extra mile and we can see that there's some really weird different calculators that are potentially also going to be profitable in good ways. Kind of good directions to go in. This is like the vintage version or something. We'll look into that later. You can also scroll down here and see compare with similar items. And so this, no, this is what we just clicked into. But this also is another item that we could take a look at. So we can Control C and look at that later. So the moral of the story is whenever you're sourcing and you see something that's super similar, why not just throw those ideas in your ASIN tracker, and next time you source, or even later when you hit a dead end with whatever you were looking at, you have tons of stuff to look into. Or if you have a virtual assistant, if you have 10 links here, just say, hey, can you take a look at these 10 ASINs here and fill out all this information for it? And then you can go back and have all of these ASINs to either say yes to or no to. So that's going to save you a ton of time. So we're going to X out of these. And the reason I'm not clicking into these Casio ones is I am currently gated in Casio, but they're probably good finds. I just am gated right now and I haven't taken the time to ungate in them. But the whole point was to look up this and we never actually found it. So we're going to try again. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. Like I've literally never seen the TI 73. Like I honestly don't know who or why would ever buy the TI 73. Maybe it has some niche purpose. It's just one of the reasons I just really like sourcing eBay to Amazon, because like those weird old, or slightly old, discontinued-ish type items are just super interesting to me. Gotta share the screen. We're gonna see if we can find that ASIN though. Because sometimes what'll happen is we'll find the ASIN and it'll be like a random like $70 and leads to some good opportunities. So the Explorer keeps coming up, or at least like this blue one keeps coming up. But what about the gray one? They do have a UPC. Let's search by UPC. That's super weird. It doesn't even show up. Start a private label and mix in your private label like cord charger with it. Monopolize all the Texas 83 TI 73 calculator sales in the world with your private label and Texas Instruments charging cord. It's not on Amazon. It's actually a possibility. It's just I don't even know if this is popular or not. Texas Instruments TI 73 graphing calculator. So again, here's another sourcing technique. We type this in and we're not even finding what we're looking for, but we have other ideas here that we can be looking for. So this is something that could be profitable. We see the Keepa that this is $100. That's definitely something that could be profitable. Again, this is $100. Again, this is something that can be profitable. So we're just going to go ahead and put these links in our replenishable sheet. We have tons to look into. And whenever I decide to stop chasing this silly TI 73 rabbit trail, we have lots of things to look into. So like legit, I'm just not finding this one. So we're just going to pass on this one. But going back to what we were looking for originally, can we find the Texas Instruments TI 83 Plus for under oh yeah, we said, what was it, 37? It was 37. 40. Yeah, 40. So I would put this in the sheet. It's $40. We need to buy this at $20. That way, we don't have to do the research every single time that we're looking for these items. Ideally, you're going to have these items in your sheet, and you're going to have to check for these items often. And so you don't want to be doing the research every single time. You just want to know generally, we got to purchase this for under $20. So we're here again. This one works well, they say. It has a screen defect, but it's actually a pretty manageable screen defect. They don't have batteries. So that one would be a great one to send to your house and literally just put batteries in it. But this would probably be a used acceptable one. So $13 plus 4, that's 17, right? Can I do math? Yeah. That's going to be $11, 67% ROI. So that one's really good as well. Potentially just a little bit more effort and slightly higher risk because like if you have a screen defect, your return rate is going to be higher, but it won't be too bad, I don't think. So if they just had a picture of this turning on, I would be all over this. but they don't even have it turned on. And so that's just a pain in the neck. So screen damage, selling as is, does it work? Screen damage. It almost would have been better to just scroll to like $20 and see what we can find there. So I think we're going to do that. All right. So we're here around $20. We'll see if we still get some screen damage. I mean, this is not too bad. They have batteries, which is cool. Very small screen damage. Could add that to the cart too. And all these to the cart. So if this is $20, $8 profit. And again, we talked before about how there's seasonal down spikes in the sales every single semester. Like for the last 2 million years on this listing, there's been seasonal, see, September, January, September, January, September, January, for all of eternity. So, which one of those months is coming up? January. Give a man a sub for all this hot sourcing info. I just like sourcing, and we're on to something here because, like we're saying, we're going to hit January, and this is going to be 2,000 sales rank, and everybody's calculator is going to sell. So it's not I mean, even right now at 12K, this is still good. But it's going to be absolutely flying in January because Christmas is going to end and everyone is going to realize that they need a calculator for school. Everybody in the entire world goes to school, right? That's how it works, right? No, that's not how it works. But a lot of people do. Whoa, is this a different one? Yeah, this is a different. Oh yeah, we gotta make sure that these are actually the pluses. Yeah, so this isn't the plus. We gotta remove this. Is this the plus? Wow, we kept adding some of the non-pluses. So we gotta remove some of these. We gotta actually make sure that it says the plus here. I think there's a TI-83 listing, and honestly, what customer is going to know? But we try to sell the things that are actually, like the right item. So we're going to go ahead and take a look for more of these. So this is a plus. It has batteries. It doesn't look super professional. I wish they had a picture of it turned on. So taking a look at this one. They have it turned on. There's a defect. Definitely used acceptable. But this could probably work. And I didn't see a couple comments here because I wasn't sharing this whole time. I was literally on another screen sourcing. What calculator do you prefer for calculating profits, calculator profits? I have the TI 30XA. It's a small calculator, fits in the palm of your hand, and it works. And that's all I need it for. Is it the legend himself? Joe G. Maybe we're going to live stream this week, depending on when you're free. But we are just sourcing some calculators, actually pretty similar to the whole used book sourcing, because right now we're actually sourcing used. And so what we've been doing, sharing my screen, is we've been storefront stalking people who are selling used items. And we were first on this listing, then we storefront stalked someone on this listing. And then we ended up looking and finding these TI-83 Plus calculators. And so these sell for around $40 used. $20 is our buy cost if we need a 40% ROI. We also saw that these have a textbook season. So these are going to dip super low on textbook season. So we're going to try to source some more of these. So we added this to cart. A lot of 2 for parts. Parts, screen damage. It says for parts of repair, but it works. Just a massive burn in the middle. Probably too much of the burn there. Massive screen defects here, or not massive, but like, I mean, you could get away with this. It's just going to be high return. Generally, like, want the customer to be happy. You know what I mean? Oh wow, they have a lot of these. What on earth? Seriously, dude, this is a good listing. I mean, some slight screen defects. They have the batteries. There's more than 10 available. I'm probably gonna make a big purchase here. Yep. So more than 10 available. $14.24 each plus 5. So that's $19.25. So if we get these in January, can definitely sell these. I'm probably gonna buy pretty deep on these. How many are available? Add to cart. 15. So 32 plus 15. Ooh, and our shipping cost is lower. All right, so let's so 225 plus 33 divided by 15 is 1720. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen and purchase these because I want these. Josiah says double check the conditions, which is a great idea. I do like to rush into purchase. Looks brand new to me. Not quite brand new, but yeah, let's take a look at these notes. Item shows lines on screen but is working. Sometimes the lines disappear and come back. Each unit will come with a slide case and 4 new AAA batteries. The unit that you order will be similar to this. So, I mean, if he wants to be annoying, he could have calculators that are worse than this and put these in. New, never used once. Oh, he's just kidding. Oh, I wasn't sharing the screen. So we were looking here. He says you were looking at the TI-83 Plus. Items show line on screen. It's working. They sometimes disappear and come back. So he could slip in worse TI-83s here. So it's kind of a risk that I could or could not take. Never used once. Looks brand new, says Spencer. Joji, TI 83 Plus. Loved picking those up on college campuses back in the day. Yeah, man. Like, calculators are great. I'd pass. Lines on the screen make me think higher returns. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence here. Because sharing my screen here, just like ROI wise, I guess ROI wise is not even that great. It's 47% ROI. I mean, that's really good. I'm just going to get a ton of returns. But what I can do is I can get into Seller Central. I think I've sold these before. So what I can do is I can go to my reports, return reports. No, my reports, fulfillment, FBA customer returns. I can look in the last year. And I don't know if I've actually sold this ASIN. I can see what my return rate has been for the TI 83 Plus. So I'm looking to see what my return rate on this is, but what I need to do is actually know which ASIN it is. So I'm looking up the ASIN. FBA inventory, TI 83 Plus. Taking a look at the ASINs that I have sold before. So I haven't sold a ton of these, but I have sold some of another ASIN. I think it's the same item. I am probably going to take a gamble on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase these. I'm going to roll the dice, as Spencer is saying. So basically, I purchased 16 of them. Where is this? All right. So I purchased 16 of these. The buy cost overall, since shipping was kind of combined, was $16.64. 70% ROI, $11 profit each. There's going to be prep costs, so it's going to be more like $10 profit each. Like Josiah is saying, the return rate is probably going to be high. But for this ROI, I think I'm willing to do that. So I think that'll be good profit. I mean, that was 16 of these, so that's 160 potential profit. So I'm pretty happy with that. It probably will be much less than that, though, because of returns. So we'll see how that goes. They should sell like hotcakes, though. Yeah, I agree. I think they will. Still tripping that man uses a legit calculator for calculating profits. I mean, Seller Amp is better, though. Let's be honest here. That's why I use Seller Amp. But sometimes there's situations where I want this. I was showing Seller Amp. Definitely use Seller Amp. But I do have my calculator here. We can keep sourcing, though. Let's see if we can find some other stuff. Probably bought enough TI-83s. Could just go super, super hard and just count on selling hundreds of them. That's definitely doable. Okay. Getting off of that. So we're here. Yeah, so we're on this listing. I'm curious if there's even more of these. There's still a lot more available. Interesting. Math for sale. All right. So the TI-83 Plus, guys, the TI-83 Plus. If you don't have a TI-83 on your desk while sourcing, you're not serious enough. Paired with dorky blue like glasses, and not even Bezos can IP your account. Let's see, where can I put this calculator that everyone can see? There's not really too many spots. I could like go ahead and put it here, but nobody can see it. Let's see, can people see that calculator? Yep. Right up there is my calculator on top of my wife's decorations. Man's unlocking the secrets of the universe. Exactly. Yeah, let's go ahead and source some more. So what about this TI 73 Explorer? So let's see if this has a strange keep up. Ooh, these are, I kind of like these listings. These are listings where it's kind of an obscure item and it's a slower item for sure. But the new price is really high. And it looks like there is a slight seasonal down spike here, but not in February for some reason, which is interesting. Yeah, so I mean, this is something that we can see here. So looking up here, starting at this point, at this bottom part, there were 2 people on this listing. And we see that there were 2 people on the listing all the way until here. So this person lowered their price and then lowered their price again before they sold out in October. So he was in stock for over 2 months, but he did get a sale in around 2 months. So we definitely, I would probably think about selling it at this price. So if we can sell this for $139.90, $134.99, we'd have to get it for $78. You need a chest pocket sewn in that sweater. That way I can just I don't have my packing tape, but what I could do is just like tape it. Just put it there. Seth, I need a backstory behind the sweater. It's in every video. I really like my sweaters, and I used to thrift clothing and sell it on eBay. And the whole time I was just interested in sweaters. And so whenever I found a sweater, I'd purchase it. And Joji, Colorado people are weird, especially when it comes to cats and such. Is my cat even here? Yeah, my cat's right there. Can you guys see my cat? Let's see. I have to just, yeah, right back there. She's sleeping very peacefully. For real, it reminds me of the Stepdad on Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen. Was it? I don't know my movies well, but I like my sweaters. Yeah, I've been wearing this sweater a lot. It's my most comfortable one right now, so I just love my sweaters. Joji, I feel like you would. I was in your live stream the other day, and it looked like the types of books you were looking at gave me the vibe of what this calculator is. Like, pretty high rank for what it is, but like really expensive. What we got to do though is see if we can actually get this at the right ROI, because this is going to be a slower one. It will probably take some time to sell, over a month for sure. But if we can get it at the right price, it would be worth it to me. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. A lot of 6. I mean, these do sell used as well. Interesting. So there's 6 of them and there's 3 available. So if you want all the slow moving items you can get, you can purchase 18 of them. And you can sell them slowly over the next 2 years and do no work. That is perfect. Or you could just undercut everyone and get your sales faster. Man, I'm curious, if you sold these at $20, how much money would you even get back from $12? So I mean, you got 6 of these. See my calculator here. $72 profit, because I didn't pay attention in elementary school. I don't know how to do 12 times 6. Sometimes I can. But $72, and that's too much for that, I think. But what we're really looking for is the new ones. Oh gosh, pet peeve in action right here. Gosh, I do not like when people do that. It is not brand new. It is not brand new. That is open box. Unacceptable. Brand new? No. Definitely not brand new. Curious on Macari. We're looking for this TI 73 Explorer, even though the title is not even, doesn't even have the Explorer in it. TI 73 Explorer. New. Whoa, really? When it's too good to be true, be careful. All right. So 2 listed, 0 reviews. They have a battery acid, but they've been in storage for probably the last 32 years in the package. All right, so $48. That is pretty good. Because if we sell this for $135, That is a $62 profit. That's pretty good. Exactly. Like, what right do they have to list something as new when it's not new? Report them to the police. Spencer, after this live stream, can you help me make a police report? Because this is just completely unacceptable. It's just insane what people get away with these days. So this feels like something that I would enjoy selling. I'm happy with the ROI here. 129% ROI, which is incredible. This will probably take over a month to sell, probably 1 to 3 months to sell. The main concern is, who the heck is Julia Waters? And will she scam me? That's the question. Because I really don't love having to follow up with every single seller and make sure that they've shipped me my item. I do, but it is a big pain in the neck. So when they have like 2 things listed, 0 reviews, on eBay, I feel pretty trusting, but on Mercari, like, people just list stuff and forget about it. Especially when you have 1 thing listed, she'll probably notice it in like 4 weeks. So for that reason, I'm gonna pass on that. But we do have something pretty interesting right here, actually. Sharing my screen again. So we do have this new sealed TI-80. Oh, this is a, oh, I thought it was an 84. This was a pretty good price for an 83. All right, never mind. False alarm, guys. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. What's my method for following up? Just manually tracking the shipments. Yeah, so we're both using prep centers. So we have every single transaction listed out there. And what I try to do every like couple weeks probably is I go and check every one of those transactions where it's been several weeks since it's been inputted. So like I should probably be checking like the middle of October's right now. And even if it says delivered and the prep center for like a month has shown that it's not been delivered, I will still say the tracking number shows that it's delivered, but I never received this. I paid $583. I need a refund. Hopefully it's not that high. But even if it shows delivered, I still open a case with eBay. And oftentimes the sellers who like didn't ship the item for whatever reason, or they forgot or something, usually in those cases, I get my money back. Like, surprisingly, I thought if it showed delivered, it would always just be in the seller's favor, but no. Kind of makes me want to open a case for every single thing, even if I received it, but that's a horrible thing to do. Do your prep centers ever say you received random stuff you never ordered? Every very once in a while. I know it happened at the one that we were both at. It happened like once. I didn't order the thing. I'm trying to think what it even was. I don't know how to quickly find that out, but yeah, every once in a while. It happens, not very much. I wish it happened more, but the problem with that is if that happens to, for me, it happens to me, which is a problem. So, does that happen to you, Josiah? You don't sell really any of those, do you? My current one says I have tissues, lip balm, climbing gloves. It's basically their way of saying, Josiah, please keep sending us units. We love you. Please keep sending bulk to us. We're going to throw in every other lost item in our warehouse to Josiah's inventory. Sometimes I wonder if eBay sellers are putting the wrong stuff in boxes or giving me freebies. That's a good point. I ordered some stuff to my house a couple weeks ago, and one of the sellers included a thank you note with Starburst in there. So glad I wasn't drop shipping. It's not exactly professional, but not the worst thing in there. But I mean, when I sold on eBay, excuse me, every once in a while, I would sell items that I would just put the wrong item in the box. I would just be a little tired that day, not paying attention, too many items to ship that day, whatever it was, and just not paying attention, put the wrong item in the box. Yeah, so you sell nothing related to that. I mean, this is probably a good point. Sponges. I wonder if anyone does sponges eBay to Amazon. Let's take a look here. Are there any very expensive sponges on Amazon? Sponge. And then let's look for some $50 to $100 or $30 to $100 sponges. You know, why am I like so surprised that there's no $30 to $100 sponge? Where are the sponges? Like, why are people not purchasing sponges for $30? Any department. Oh, wait. But this is, we're going to say 30 to 50. Oh, there are. Yeah. Yeah. I was confused. Like, why would there not be sponges? I've done some to my house and gotten random toys and stickers. eBay sellers are definitely weird. Exactly. Yeah, just some weird stuff. I'll DM you the ASIN for the good sponges. Yeah, did she sell them on Amazon? I mean, you like find the ASIN and you just sent it in. I feel like there's probably like some packs of sponges like this. It's a pack of 8. Restricted. Stay off our turf, says Amazon. Back off. Fine. But we need some really expensive sponges here, so we're going to go high to low. No, not tampons. Gosh, it's not the same thing. Oh, gosh. All right. We have some Johnson's head to toe gentle baby cleansing cloths. We got, I don't know how to say your name, so I'm going to butcher it. Ayan Vlogs. Hello, I'm from Pakistan. Your regular video watcher. It's good to meet you. Thanks for coming to the live stream. I appreciate it. If you have any Amazon questions, feel free to ask them. For now, we're just looking at very expensive sponges and seeing if we can make any money off of them. Josiah is saying entrepreneurial. Nah, the ones that appeared are $3 sponges figures, and they probably lost like a $30 like docking station instead. Hopefully not. Let's see here. All right, we got Johnson's baby cleansing cloths, $53. Goodness. What a good product to sell. Like, who's going to be mad about the baby cleansing cloths that they get? But then now that I say it, probably a decent amount of people, because if they're not like the right type of thing, their baby gets a rash. Yeah, they're not going to like that. It's saying it's potentially private label. But I mean, this is a regular brand. Maybe just not too many people sell this. We got the big old pharma packs on this listing. We got Set for Baby pharma packs and then pharma packs again on the listing. Oh, they must be merch fulfilling this. All right, can we get these profitably? So we need to get this for $22. See if anybody on eBay is selling this for $22. Cleansing cloths. Oh gosh, that is going to be so hard to find profitably. Those things are probably heavy. Or wait, is it a 15 pack because there's 15 of these in here? I mean, this is the UPC. So you just need one. It's a different UPC. Seriously, what has my life come to that I'm trying to source baby cleansing cloths, eBay to Amazon? I don't really think it's the best category. Don't share the ones I just DM'd you on Instagram. Those are the good ones. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen and pull up Instagram. See if I can share the ASIN. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it sounds like you're sourcing some sponges eBay to Amazon, which is pretty cool. We got AN Vlogs in the chat. I want to sell books from eBay to Amazon, and so how can I start? I was laughing at this. Reckless. Nah, I'm not going to share that. Yeah, so first of all, you're from Pakistan, and so if you're doing eBay to Amazon from Pakistan, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to source from probably United States eBay, and you're going to have to work with the prep center that is located in the United States that we can have your items sent there. And then from there, you can send the items to Amazon. So that's kind of the structure of how you're going to be able to do it. Because a lot of people, when they start doing eBay to Amazon and just Amazon in general, they just have the items sent to their house first, or they just go to stores in person. They drive around to stores and they go in person. And so that makes it a little less complicated to get started. So doing everything completely remote is a little bit more complicated, but it can be done. So the two things that you're going to have to set up is you're going to have to get a seller account in the United States. And I don't exactly know how that process works if you don't live in the United States, I'm actually curious here to try and answer your question. We came across, which ASIN was this? There was an ASIN earlier where the price was way too low and it was someone selling, and they had like Chinese characters in their name. But basically, you're gonna have to get a United States seller account. So either you're gonna have to buy one or make one. I'm sure there's probably guides on YouTube about how to make an Amazon account if you are outside of the United States. And then also you're gonna have to get set up with a prep center. So that's an easier process. Probably you can just Google how to find a prep center on Google, and that will work for you. So you got to do those two things: get a seller account, and then also work with a prep center that's in the United States if you are completely remote. We got Flips for Miles in the chat. Seller Amp. Definitely been using Seller Amp, that's for sure. Instead of my calculator that we were talking about before. So we got Ann in the chat. Yeah, I set up all the things. Okay, so you have a seller account, whether you're remote or in the United States, and you have a prep center. Okay, so that's probably the harder part for you. So if you want to do books, eBay to Amazon, excuse my voice. If you want to do books, eBay to Amazon, Joji was actually here earlier. And so there's a guy named Joji Davenport. He talks a lot about selling books eBay to Amazon. If you're specifically interested in books, that's his name. He has some guides on YouTube. But at a very basic level, I would strongly suggest having Keepa, because Keepa is going to help you make purchases that are actually good purchases. You know, because like you're going to be spending some money on these books. And Keepa is basically the roadmap for what did this product do in the past. And so therefore, when we spend $20, $30, $40, $50 on a book, we're confident that it's actually going to sell for the right price. And so you're already selling Navita products in the United States. So are you doing wholesale? And so are you wanting to just add selling books eBay to Amazon to your wholesale? That could be a good idea. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so you can use some things like eFlip. You can use FlipMine. You can use Keep a Product Finder. You can just manually go on eBay and go in the solds. Like you can do something like this pretty easily. Just like regular eBay to Amazon, you're going to have to make a ASIN tracker of all the books that you're looking to keep in stock. So in order to make a list like that, you can just type book in eBay, and there's going to be so many results. But you could do a couple of different strategies. You could look for books that are cheap, that are selling for expensive on Amazon. You could look for books that are selling on eBay for semi-expensive prices, because we know that those are going to be more valuable books. So we can use these criteria here. Let's say we want books that are in the $30 to $50 range. And we're going to stick with used. So what we can do is we can actually look up these items and see, are these selling for more on Amazon? And so a lot of these are probably going to be vintage books that are actually selling kind of slow, but then some of these are going to be items that are actually selling really quickly. Like this, for example, this is a huge volume set. And so potentially there's some margins on it. Looks like some weird anime stuff. So, I mean, there's a ton of different ways to do it. The softwares like eFlip and FlipMine are also pretty good, but you do have to pay for them. God, Raspy, dang, this stream is a long one today. Yes, sir. It's been fun, so I just stayed on, you know. Josiah, CSF, have a good night. Good to have you, Josiah. And Raspy is saying, I thought we don't like used anymore because of the returns. Yeah, that's a good point. But there are some items that are used that actually have better return rates than others. Like, for example, a big printer is going to have much higher returns than a used little calculator, for example. So that's the distinction there. I still source mostly new, but every once in a while I'll source some used just because, like we were talking about before, we found a bunch of used TI-83 plus calculators that I think will do pretty well, actually. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Thank you. I will do it definitely. Yeah, you're welcome. And let me know if there's any more questions that you have. I'm going to be having live streams just about every day this week at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They're probably not going to be as long as this one, to be completely honest. But also, if you just have other questions, I'm on Instagram as well, and you can send me a message there. I try to get back to people within around a day. And this is a really good question from Raspy. During Q4, do you source differently compared to other source quarters? You know, some people go and treat Q4 like they source extremely differently. Personally, there's some people who do like toy flips where they'll buy from Amazon and they like see on the Keepa that Amazon often goes out of stock during the holidays, and they try to sell those items. And I don't really go for those types of items very much. Mostly during Q4, I just want to have as much money invested in my business as possible. So basically, as much money I can have invested in my business, stuff being sent to Amazon, stuff active at Amazon, the better. And I don't necessarily discriminate between Q4 and January either, because January is also one of the best months of the year. There's no need to panic when stuff hasn't sold by the time Christmas happens, because January, like all the kids and all the people from Christmas have their gift cards, and like they're trying to get stuff that they wanted that they thought they were going to get for Christmas, but they didn't actually get. And so sales in January are actually really, really good as well. So some people say you need to just stop sending in inventory when it comes to like late November because it's not going to be active in FBA. And people do have a point that merch fulfilling is really, really, really good. Merch fulfilling is really good during Q4 because the volume is up. But for me, I just don't have a big merch fulfilled operation, and I don't really desire to. Cody, who's usually on the chat with us, would absolutely cringe at that because he loves merch fulfilled. That's like what he does. And so Q4 is great for him. But in my head, like if inbound times are just slightly slower and my stuff goes active in January, like that's still fine. My stuff's still going to sell. So I just keep sending stuff in. So the products you're sourcing doesn't really change, only amount of money you go in with. Yeah, and like it's not even that much more money right now either. Like if you like leverage, like using credit cards or loans or whatever, if you're comfortable doing that, this is, I mean, really like a month ago to a couple weeks ago is when you really should have been leveraging as hard as you can. For me right now, I'm just not paying myself until the end of Q4 very much because I do want as much money in the business as possible. So yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm really sourcing the same items. Yep. And I mean, maybe it's wider because I'm adding new ASINs in. That's a good question. Raspy, I'm curious what like general categories, like super general, are you selling in? But yeah, Q4 is great. Kind of like Roman the Roamer. I kind of see it the way that he sees it. He kind of just says that Q4 is icing on the cake, which like you do things well the whole year and then you do things in Q4 and it's icing on the cake. You get whatever it is, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40% more sales in Q4. I'm actually currently not even 18 yet. I turned 18 on Thanksgiving. I'm just gearing up. Nice, man. Yeah, and you're super close. I mean, that's in like 2 weeks. And at least that way you don't have to go through the whole like making an Amazon account with your parents. Because I know some like young people who have Amazon accounts and they had to make it with their parents. And just some encouragement to you. Like I know like several people under 18 that were doing like 30K plus a month. And some of them were like absolute monsters too. Like there's one guy, I don't know if you know Jake Carter, um, but I think he did 5 million in 2021. He's 19 now, but he's just been selling for a really long time. I think he sold with his parents' account. Um, so like 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds can definitely do it if it's like really what they want. Like goodness, I played RuneScape from 18 to like 24. What a waste. If I had been learning to sell all that time, goodness. I wish. So I'll start on Thanksgiving. Nice. Yeah, that's what's the date today? I mean, it's like what is it? The 14th. We're close. All right, so that's been a good stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been about an hour and a half and it's time for dinner, but we're going to be streaming just about every day this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably Saturday. And Cody's going to be with us a lot of the time. Josiah might join us as well. Joji might join us one of these days, probably Saturday. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. And quickly, I'll answer this question. Yeah, so I source 90% of my inventory from eBay, and have I ever been worried about getting banned or anything? Yeah, every once in a while I do. This is basically the way that I think about the whole issue. I'm just gonna link a video if you're more curious about that. I made like an 8-minute video here, but basically the whole thing is that technically on Amazon you're supposed to have a letter from the brand on every single item that you sell. And so even people who are doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage with legitimate receipts don't actually have permission from the brand. And so Amazon is financially, like they really want people to sell stuff on Amazon. And so they're not in the game of trying to ban people. Like you really have to go out of your way and like get a ton of claims and not be careful in order to get banned. But yes, it's always a risk, for sure. But I'll see you there, Raspy. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. And hopefully in this next 2 weeks, you can be learning a ton about Amazon. That way you can just really hit the ground running when it comes to sourcing. But yeah, have a good rest of the night, guys, and take care.